If you can write well, you can easily start a career as a content writer. Hey guys, it's Saheli and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to tell you step by step the things you need to do in order to become a paid content writer. Now, the skill you need for content writing is basically writing. You need to be able to write in English properly. Some people also start a career as a content writer without knowing good English, to be honest, but the payment gets real low in that case. So what I'll suggest that if you want to make a career as a content writer, make sure that you can write good English. You can write articles well. If you have come from an ICSE background, it becomes very easy. But even if not, if your English is good, if you can write good articles, it's more than enough to get started as a content writer. I'm so happy to let you know that some of my students have landed their first job, their first gig within 3 to 7 days of taking the mentorship. And one girl actually last week, she got a gig within an hour of the mentorship ending. So it totally is remarkable that they have been able to use my strategies. So if you would like to get my personal strategies absolutely personalized to your tastes and to your skills, yes, you should definitely sign up for my mentorship session. So that's the first thing, the skill that you need. And secondly, I will tell you about how content writers are paid. Now, majority of content writers are paid on per word basis. That is, they get paid on paisa per word or rupee per word, and it totally depends on what kind of niche they are working in. The payment really varies from 20 paisa per word to 1 rupee per word, and there are like payments that are lower than that and there are payments higher than that. Anything lower than 20 paisa per word, I don't want you to accept as a job, and anything greater than 1 rupee per word, I definitely want you to accept as a job. Why? So it goes something like this. Your client will ask you to write articles. Let's say they have asked you to write 1,000 word article per day for 30 days, for a month, that is. If they are paying you about 20 paisa per word, you will get paid on the monthly basis 6,000 rupees by this particular client for writing 1,000 word article every day for them. However, if you're getting paid 1 rupee per word, that means just for writing one article of 1,000 words every day for one person, you'll get paid 30,000 per month. Now, most of the times the niches which pay this much money, you need to do a lot of research before writing that particular article. The payment really varies on the basis of how much research you will be needed to do in order to write that particular article. So technical writing, medical writing, academic writing, these are niches that I really want you to target. But when you're getting started, niches like lifestyle are much more easier to get started with. A lot of people think that it's hard to get 50 paisa per word as just a fresher, or there are people who are working for years as a content writer and still haven't got paid that kind of money. But it's totally possible. Like last week itself, I mentored a student, and the very first gig that she got was a 50 paisa one, and that was her very first article as a content writer. So yes, it is definitely possible with the strategies that I'm gonna give you. So this is something that you should know. This is like the potential for you as a content writer. There are many people who are like content writers for years and are making 50,000 to 60,000 per month easily. But even as a beginner, I would say that it will be possible for you to make 10 to 25,000 in content writing from the very first month if you have some time, like 1 to 2 hours per day at least, and like 3 hours or 4 hours would be like very optimum for you. So that's the kind of time investment and kind of returns that you can expect as a content writer. So if that sounds good to you, please continue watching. So the first thing you need to do if you want to get started as a content writer is make samples of your work. There are so many ways to do this. Now, some people just write normal articles and post them to their Facebook. Some people write the articles, pile it up in a doc and send it to their clients. Some people post them to their website. Some people post it on LinkedIn. Some people also write on Medium or other self-publishing platforms. Like there's Youth Ki Awaaz, where you can actually submit your articles, and Youth Ki Awaaz is very well optimized too. Like I personally wrote a couple of articles there several years ago and still they pop up in search results. So I highly suggest you to choose any of the platforms or like all of them if you want to, and showcase your writing skills. It is very important for you to make the samples of your work, because that's the first thing your possible client is going to ask from you, that send me your work examples. So you need to have those work examples ready. Do your best in the work examples and make sure that your work examples proves your expertise. Now, don't overdo it. Don't write an article that is extremely complicated in English. Write a normal kind of an article, like when you read a normal lifestyle blog. The language is always pretty simple. So make sure that you are sticking to it no matter what you're doing. If you're writing an academic article, obviously you have to use a lot of complicated words. So it really depends on the kind of article you choose to write. But make sure that it is well presented. And one of the best ways to put your best foot forward would be to analyze the previous articles that have been written in this particular topic. Don't plagiarize. I highly emphasize on that. Never plagiarize, because in that case your career will be over before it starts. But make sure that you are analyzing older articles to get ideas and to get an idea about how to write articles. Once you are done making these samples, the next thing I want you to do is optimize your Facebook and LinkedIn profiles. Add your experience, if you have any so far, wherever you have studied, and anything that you have already done, like any kind of a job if you have. And if you haven't, just leave it blank. And add the fact that you're a content writer in your bio, in the heading, if you can, because that really optimizes your profile. And you'll understand another reason why I'm asking you to do this, which is the second thing I want you to do. This is the best thing to do if you want to become a paid freelance content writer, and this is called networking. Networking is basically like you need to get to know and talk to a lot of people who are in the industry. One of the biggest reasons I got my first freelance content writing gig at 15 was that I had this person in my friend list who was a writer, and that person kind of needed to hire someone else to write articles for him because he had a lot of articles to write. So let's say he was getting paid like 50 paisa or 60 paisa per word, but he paid me 20 paisa per word to write that article. So anything in between, he took it. So a lot of work in content writing happens to moderators, like people who are like in the middle. So yeah, it was something like that. But I was just 15 years old. It was good enough for me, and I got started. It was my first exposure to the world of content writing, and I only got it because I had a writer in my friend list. So what I want you to do is network with a lot of content writers, network with a lot of people who hire people who are content writers. The best way to do this is just search for the term content writing on the search bar of Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. The people who are content writers, they probably would have added the fact that they are content writers in their bio, just like you are going to do. So the names are going to pop up immediately. You're going to know who these people are, and you will be able to add them to your friend list, and you will be able to talk to them, and they will be so helpful to you. I would say like out of 10 people you add, 2 to 3 people would actually become really nice and really good friends with you. And if they are not, you're probably not networking right. And the next thing is actually networking right. Networking right means that you have to approach these people in a nice way. Or what happens is that, like, even when I was getting started, even when I was people just start to getting to know me, I used to get these texts all the time that, hey, I'm in a bad financial position, please help me make money. And I still get them. Okay, I totally understand. There are so many people who are struggling with their finances, even more these days. That's why I actually made this channel. However, what the problem is, when you write a text like this to someone who you don't even know, you put yourself in such a vulnerable position. Like, just think about it. Remove yourself from the situation and think you are walking down the road and someone comes to you and starts trying to sell you something. What's your first instinct? Your first instinct is like to run away. Okay, if someone comes up to you suddenly and asks you for help on the road, you think that they are scammy. Okay, so when you are doing that same thing online, how do you expect that someone is going to trust you? Online world is even more like ridden with distrust and feeling scared of someone being dishonest. Okay, so that's not how you approach people on the internet. The best way to approach people on the internet is look at their profile. Like, do they have something on the profile already? Do they have links to a website or something? Check out those socials, check out those websites, and send a message that says something like, hey, XYZ, whatever the name is. I just checked out your profile on, let's say their profile is on Facebook, or they have a website, or in that case you can write, I just read your website or checked out your website and I loved it so much. I love the way you have written this particular article. Mention some article that you read that is written by them and try to praise them. Okay, try to tell them that their article made your day, or you took some tip from the article that has helped you in getting to know more. If you can point out any mistake in the article, you can also do that. Okay, just show them that you genuinely care about them, and never ever pitch to them that I am a content writer, or I want to get started as a content writer, so would you please help me. Never ever do this, never, because that puts you in a very, very vulnerable position. So this way, if you network this way, you will be able to build genuine connections, because everyone likes to hear good things about themselves, everyone. And this is the best way to network. Who are you more likely, let's say you are in school, who are you more likely to help? Someone who you don't even know from a different section, let's say they are coming to you and they are saying, hey, please help me with your notes. Or someone who comes and tells you, oh my god, your handwriting is so nice, I wish I could be as fast as you in taking notes. And then they strike up a genuine friendship with you, and then they ask for your notes. Obviously you are going to be more inclined to befriend the second person, right? So this is the kind of psychology that works even in the online world in terms of working. So make sure that you're networking right. This network is your net worth. So when you have a lot of content writers and people who hire content writers in your list, what will happen is that the next time they need someone, the next time a content writer has a lot of work and can't do it themselves, they will think of you. Or if they can't take a client, if they know that you are offering the same services, they will refer you to their client. A lot of the works you'll get as a freelancer should be as referrals. If not, you're not doing a good job. So make sure that you are keeping this networking part in mind, because it is one of the best things that I've ever done. Networking is also one of the biggest reasons my students get results too. If you don't know, I am a mentor to people who want to get started in the career as a freelancer. I tell them step by step exactly the things that they need to do, and this is actually like a customized session, so it is different. Like there's no one size fits all. So if you really want some in-depth guidance, you should definitely sign up for my mentorship session. My mentorship slots are totally booked for the month of June though. Probably the earliest slot you'll get right now is in July, like early July. So make sure you book as soon as you can if you want to get started in your journey. But even otherwise, I hope that my video content is going to help you at least get started and land your first gig. And talking about landing your first gig, getting your first job, you look for these jobs on different types of job boards, and there are so many job boards. Some of my favorites would be LinkedIn jobs. Definitely you have to build a very professional LinkedIn profile if you really want to get a LinkedIn job. You can also apply for jobs on portals like Naukri.com, Internshala, and I'd rate these portals somewhere around 1, I'd say rate these like 5 on a scale of 1 to 10. They are not that good, they are not terrible either. So yeah, using LinkedIn, Facebook is mostly more beneficial than something like Internshala or Naukri.com. But when you are getting started, I want you to explore these. What I never want you to use is something like Upwork or Fiverr. Like they're very, very bad platforms to get your jobs as freelancers, because it's so price competitive. Like no matter what price you offer, someone would be ready to offer even more at even less price, and there's only so low that you can offer as a rate. So I don't suggest a platform like Fiverr, Upwork. There are people who do work on Fiverr, Upwork, but also it's very hard to get started as a beginner on Upwork, because your experience shows, and the person who is hiring, they'll be able to see once you apply that how much experience you have. And if you don't really have a lot of experience, they are not going to hire you. So it gets very hard to get a job as a fresher in Upwork or Fiverr. So yeah, keep that in mind, and yeah, I hope that helps you land your first gig. Once you land your gig, make sure that you're doing some background research on the person you're working for. Look at their socials. Do they look legit? Do they have a legit website? If they don't have a legit website, at least do they have some other social media handles? Try to take their number. There are a lot of things you should do as precautions so that you don't get frauded. I have never gotten frauded, nor have my students so far, but make sure that you still take this precaution steps, because there are people who have been cheated on the online community, and you should definitely beware when you're working online of the people you meet. But with a little bit of precaution, things are going to be totally fine. Trust me on that. I have worked as a content writer for over 2 years before shifting to more high-paying niches like copywriting, marketing, social media managing. But I would say this, even today, content writing is one of the best things, and one of the easiest things to get started with as a freelancer. So you should definitely look into this. I hope that this session has been helpful for you. If it has, give this video a big fat thumbs up. Share this video with someone who wants to make money in content writing, or who has the skill of writing and doesn't know yet that they can make a lot of money with content writing. I will try to make a video on copywriting, another very high paying skill if you are good at writing. And if you want my personal guidance as a freelancer, make sure that you're signing up for my one-on-one freelance mentorship. Link will be in the description below. So in this session, I basically talk to you about your skills, understand where exactly are you from and what exactly can you do depending on your personal schedule. And I totally personalize this session so that I can give you the best that you can get out of your schedule, out of your skills within a month. So make sure that you're signing up for the mentorship session if you want my personal guidance in order to get started making money online as a freelancer. I hope that this video was helpful. I'll be back with another video next week. Till then, bye bye.